Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing your future self's message. See, we're channeling your future self from the time where they have healed your shadow, and from that time here is their message to you. And to do this reading we are going to be picking 3 piles. Oh, I feel this one. We're going to be picking 3 piles together. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's see what we have for today. For pile number 1, we have courage. For pile number 2, we have study to know yourself. And for pile number 3, we have love unabashedly. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the Malachite. This is what your crystal looks like. For pile number 2, we have the Chrysocolla, and this is what your crystal looks like. And for pile number 3, we have the Kunzite, and this is what your crystal looks like. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to, and that is probably the pile for you here today. And as I always say, if you feel drawn to more than 1 pile or perhaps even all, trust your intuition, because your intuition is your magic that always guides you to the right readings. And so if it's just calling for you to watch 1 pile and you know that's it, or it's calling for you to watch several or maybe all, let it lead the way, because it will always guide you to the right readings. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, welcome to your card preparation process. It is so lovely to have you here. I always love having your energies around as we prepare for your piles. So thank you so much for being here. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce your cards to you. On the left are the Oracle decks, and on the right are the tarot decks that we will be using for your reading. All right, let's get straight into it, and let's shuffle with intention. We want to know, what's your future self's message to you from the time of which they healed your shadow, and what is their message then? So 1, okay, so this one wants to come out as well, and I feel this one. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's pick up your next deck. And ask, what is your future self's message to you from the time that they have healed your shadow? What is their message to you exactly? Okay. What is your future self's message to you from the time in which they healed your shadow? What is your future self's message from the time they have healed your shadow? What is your future self's message to you coming from the time they have healed your shadow? What is your future self's message to you coming from the time they have healed your shadow? All right. Let's now pick up your next deck. I want to put the crystals here. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, okay, great. So that is here. Get this one, and this one. Right, let's pick up your next deck. Thank you. What is your future self's message from the time, coming from the time they have healed your message, your shadow? Now on to the last deck. What is your future self's message to you coming from the time they have healed your shadow? Cannot wait for today's reading and seeing your future self's beautiful insight. I'm sure there's so much to learn. So excited about today's reading. Let's now put them together in a neat way so that we can begin your reading. There we go. So that's pile number 1. There we go with the Malachite. That is pile number 2. With the Chrysocolla. And pile number 3. Kunzite. Lovely. So your 3 piles are now ready. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will always love and cherish this time. Love you guys so much. So grateful for having beautiful souls every day that I connect to. It's my biggest blessing. Thank you guys so much. Love you. And let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Malachite as well as the card Have Courage. And we're taking a look at a message from your future self from a time when they have healed, or from when you have healed your shadow. So let's take a look at what your future self has to say to you in today's reading. You have agape. You also have breathe. Okay, so this is what your oracle card looks like, the next one. There seems to be a tricky situation. Maybe you needed to figure things out, you know? You needed to put things together for you to understand it. All right. And you have burden. All right, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So these are the after tarot. These are the scenes after the regular Rider-Waite-Smith scenes. You have judgment. Okay. You have the Fool card. The Ace of Wands. Right. You have the Seven of Cups. The Eight of Swords. You have the Eight of Pentacles. And you have the Hanged Man. And the Fool card. So the Fool one more time. I feel like your future self is guiding you here towards something. You know, agape is a Greek word meaning unconditional love. So what are we seeing here exactly? You know, I'm seeing, pile number 1, that your future self is a hard worker, someone who's mastered their craft. And with the clock here, they've mastered time. With the pressure here, the pressure gauge, someone who has managed to not feel burdened as they do what is important to them. You know, in fact, this in conjunction with this card, I feel like your future self has built very sophisticated things with the key here, by building systems that work on their own, and they were able to build something very big because they took it one thing at a time. You know, I feel the burden here. Maybe you want to do something, but you get burdened right away, so you may not continue. Or maybe the shadow here is being worried about burden, is feeling stuck with the Eight of Swords. Feeling like, yeah, the shadow here is an emotion of feeling stuck. That once you commit to something, you feel stuck. You feel stuck, yeah. Perhaps that has prevented you from pursuing what is important to you, from creating what you wish and hope to create. This is what I feel here. I see, on the other hand, your future self has learned. Do you see? They've dropped the baggage or the shadow, and they've learned that. Do you see this fool figure that's on the verge of a hill here? And they may be in a critical situation, but they're taking it slow. They're smelling the roses. They're enjoying it bit by bit. We see that your future self does not see it as a burden that stops them from getting up, but rather as a creation of something marvelous. And so their message here is that they have learned to take one thing, breathe, take one thing at a time, and focus just on that with the Seven of Cups, this specific Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is an energy of being overwhelmed, not knowing where to start, what to do, because they're looking at everything at the same time. Whereas in this Seven of Cups, we see one rabbit hole at a time. I see your future self saying the way that they've healed this is to not always feel the burden of everything that needs to be finished all at once, because that will make you feel stuck. Your future self is telling you that the way they have healed this is that they solely focus on that one thing that they're doing, and they always forget about all the other things that gives them this emotion of burden. And once they've focused on that, they put all the love and care into it. You see with the Ace of Wands, this is passion, to truly care about that one thing, to swap the emotion of burden because you're no longer thinking about all the other things. See, with Breathe, there's acceptance that you're doing that now. And Agape is unconditional love. So to swap the feeling of burden and from overwhelm to the feeling of love towards what you're doing, to focus on that one thing, to love it, to accept it, and to do the best while at it. This will really make you, as the Fool card here, smell the roses. You're not so maybe pressured by the whole picture together. The key here is to forget about everything else until you finish that one little thing, and then shift your focus to the next. The rule here is to stop thinking about the whole thing over and over and over, because I feel like in your reading, that's really the root cause of the shadow here. The constant thinking about the whole thing makes you burdened. It's really just like the ants, focusing on one tiny little sugar cube at a time, one tiny little thing at a time, and think about nothing else. And with Breathe, your future self here is telling you, once you do that little thing, maybe you take a breather, you celebrate, you make a tiny celebration of you having done that little thing, congratulating yourself, saying, yes, I've just finished that. It's off my list. Take a breather and then get into the next. I feel like this is the specific system, very specific system that your future self is talking about, that really pertains to your shadow when it comes to that, because each one has a different shadow. So this is not really a productivity per se reading. This is a tiny thing that is stopping you, although you have the full potential to do something great. It is that one thing that you may not be seeing within your shadow, that your future self has is putting a light on, that they've discovered that they want to tell you in today's reading. It's really with you about not focusing on the whole thing. Otherwise, you'll feel stuck. This is about doing one little thing, and with the Hanged Man here, sticking to it. You know, the Hanged Man is a pause. Not doing anything else while you're doing that one thing. This is the key here again. Another second key. Once you start that little thing, don't focus on anything else. Other than that, stick to it. Do it with love, because obviously as well, this is one of the main key factors that your future self has discovered. To not do it with hate, because if you do something with a burden, at a certain point you'll break. You won't be able to do it any longer. You have to reshift, as the Hangman suggests, reshift your focus from it being something that ties you down to you really loving what you're doing. Yeah. To you being faithful to it. Because being faithful to it and sticking to it for as long as it takes is being faithful to you. Pile number 1. Is giving self-love, unconditional love to yourself. Because this is the way you heal that shadow completely. And you'll see that through this system, you will be able to do great things. I see your future self has built so many amazing big things that would flabbergast you, even knowing about it now. So the key here is, why wait until you learn it in the future? Why not start achieving these dreams now? Do little things. Take breaks between these little things. Celebrate that you finished these little things. But while you're at it, stick completely to it. Let it take as long as it takes. Do not shift your focus. And do it with utmost love and care. Just like the 8 of Pentacles, do it with craft. Do it with the best that you have. Give it your best. This way you'll enjoy it. My dear pile number 1, you'll be proud about creating something that may be useful to the world or to your job, as you do it with this type of love and care. Pile number 1. Such an amazing, wise future self. And so with your main card, have courage, I see your future self saying, have the courage to start this today. Take little steps. The most important thing is they want you to see the small picture and not the big picture any longer. They want you to disregard that and start taking it one task, one day at a time, and forget about everything else. As long as you're working on that. There is this idea of have courage, being invited to go down the rabbit hole. Maybe you want to start something, but you're worried about not finishing it. Yeah, maybe you want to do something, but you feel overwhelmed about doing it. Maybe your future self is speaking about a specific maybe project that you have in mind, or something that you want. Maybe you want to learn a new language, or you want to do your own thing, and you already have a lot to do, and it makes you feel really bad starting something else, although you're really hoping, you wish you would start something. So your future self is telling you, have the courage to begin that. Because by beginning something that you want is taking care of yourself. That is unconditional love. Because getting the rewards from the things that you truly wish for is one of the best ways to take care of you, pile number 1. And it's one of the strongest messages that you have from your future self. With the breathe, I'm seeing the message of take it slowly. Do it with love and not with stress and pressure. Leave that behind and focus on the details of the craft. Focus on moment to moment, to tiny task to the other, and forget about the whole thing. Because the key here, remind yourself, the more you remember the whole thing, the more you feel pressured and stressed, and the more you don't get up and you do it. Slice them into tiny little things and focus on these tiny little things every single time until you're done. Break, done. And as you're doing that, don't focus on anything else. I see by healing this specific shadow, which is very important, which is a very important message from your future self about your shadow in general. Healing this specific one will help you take care of you in so many ways and will help you achieve what you want. And this is exactly what I see from your future self. My dear pile number 1, I wish you all the blessings in the world. I wish you do exactly what you want, and I do hope you heed the call from your future self. I thank your future self for coming in today. So blessed to have you from the future. And my dear pile number 1, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel, which is the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, Pile Number 1. This book could really help you out in this journey, relieve all the stress and pressure, and genuinely help you out in this journey. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love and enjoy listening to your books. And pile number 1, it was such a pleasure spending this time with you. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Chrysocolla, as well as Study to Know Yourself. I'm really wondering what this is about. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards, my dear pile number 2, and see what message your future self has about the shadow that they have healed. And to do this, we're going to start off by your oracle cards. Are we missing one? No, that's right. You have All That Glitters. Oh, sorry, pile number 2. There we go. All That Glitters. Okay. You also have Self-Love. Interesting. Study to Know Yourself. All right. You have this card. So this is what it looks like. Love that. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So these are the after tarots. These are the scenes after the regular RWS, or Rider-Waite-Smith. You have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, the owl is back. Okay. You have the King of Cups. All right. Interesting. This looks like an interesting message. You have the Page of Pentacles. All right. You have the Three of Pentacles. All right. You have the Magician. The Three of Cups. And you have the Nine of Cups. So sweet. And the Tower card. Okay. So, what is your message from your future self? Sorry, eagle, not owl. I hope I didn't say owl. So, anyways. Oh, I'm seeing we missed a card. Wow, you have the one. This is really talking about the self. Wow. You know, I'm seeing with the Tower card here, Humpty Dumpty, of course. And I feel through it there's some sort of blame, because Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, right? And the poem goes on to explain that no one was able to put Dumpty Dumpty back again. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. So there is fear of fall, fear of making maybe a mistake, and deep regret, fear of regret, and deep regret about things that happened in the past. Revising over events, re-strategizing what you would do, how it could have done, what would have happened had you not done that. There's a lot of worry and regret here. And I see your future self really telling you to drop that. This is the after tarot. To drop all of these regrets and worries. And if you find yourself questioning or having regrets, don't. Try not to second guess yourself or beat yourself up. Nothing happens that is not supposed to happen. In fact, many of the issues and the situations that we go through are not really much to be upset about. They are our path to wholeness, because it is through them that we get opportunities to understand, to learn, to grow, and become the version that we want to be today. Every single situation, drop that happens or fall that happens, is a opportunity to study. That's why you have study to know yourself. We have self-love. We have the three of cups, figuring it out. Working to figure it out. To take things slowly. And with the Ace of Swords, to think about it pragmatically. Because with all that glitters, don't look at the outside picture of perhaps how it's going to look like on the outside. What are other people going to think? It should have been perfect. It should have been good. Because having an ideal, perfect image will be the source of pain. Because we're not meant to do everything perfect all the time. And we have to accept and love ourselves and be okay completely with messing things up or having things fall or not doing anything okay. And if anyone treats us any less just because we haven't done something perfect, then they have their own shadow to heal, to deal with. And it's really not our problem to deal with our shadow and their shadow too. Any balanced person will have grace and class to allow others to make mistakes, because who doesn't make mistakes? And it is our job to not judge others, because if we do, then we have a trigger, we have a shadow that we need to heal. And so I see your future self telling you to really drop the falls and to be okay with yourself when they happen. Don't judge yourself harshly. Don't be worried about how it's going to look like on the outside. Instead, be very kind to yourself. Be the one who gives that kindness to yourself. To say, okay, so what happened here? Why did it go wrong? Fine. I've learned my lesson. I've taken the feedback, and I'm sure I can do better next time. Will I be perfect next time? Perhaps not, and perhaps I'll be very proud of myself. But maybe not, and that is okay. That is my learning curve, and as long as I have an open mind to try again the next time, I'm certainly going up. And your future self is stressing on speaking to yourself with love. Who else will give this love to you if you don't give it to yourself? I really see your future self telling you the idea of going between studying the situation, looking closely at it, slowly figuring it out, learn the lesson, and then drop it. Speak to yourself kindly, forgive yourself. If anyone doesn't love you for who you are or makes a big deal out of something, know that they definitely have a shadow to heal with. Wish them healing, for sure. And wish yourself healing, and without being embarrassed or feeling bad, calmly forgive yourself. Give yourself a sweet pat on the back and say, hey, let's try again the next time. It's okay. It's okay. Everyone in the world, in one department or the other, in many departments or the other, have shadows to deal with. Do mistakes, and they don't do it perfectly in one area or the other. And we have to be kind to ourselves in these areas. And really, your future self is telling you to give yourself self-love. When you're dealing with others, really give yourself the self-love. Speak to yourself kindly. Always tell yourself it's okay, as long as you are taking and studying the feedback, learning about what went wrong, thinking about how to do it better the next time, and that's it. And move on. Don't overindulge in perhaps what other people may think, because if they continue to think, then they have a shadow to heal. That is their own issue, not yours. You are, however, on the way to healing yours, because you've taken the feedback, you've patted yourself on the back. Instead of worrying about the fall, you've taken the lesson, and every single fall is an opportunity for us to grow. Slowly but surely into the version that we would love to see ourselves. And with the one here in conjunction with the magician, we see a skilled person, someone who has grown mentally, emotionally, and in so many ways, even when it comes to your goals and wishes and achievements, everything. As so long as you don't focus so much and feel the pain of the fall, let it go. Like I told you, pile number 2, most of the things we're upset about really are not anything to be upset about. They are things that happened. Whatever happened is in the past. We learn, we grow. It is meant to happen for our spiritual growth, and we move on to the next stage of our lives, and we do better. Everything happens for a reason, for us to transform, heal, get better, and to have higher rate of vibration. My dear pile number 2 is really what I'm seeing here. With the 9 of Cups, I'm seeing emotional happiness, emotional tranquility, to feel happy at all time, even when it's a little pressuring, Don't take the heat. Do know that everything happens for a reason, and always learn the lesson and move on, my dear pile number 2. Your future self is depicting something very important here, pile number 2. We see a hand training an eagle, and so they have their eyes covered, and they have the eagle's eye covered because when they do, the ego thinks it's safe, and so it feels calm, and this way they're able to train them and keep them there for as long as they need them. And I see your future self telling you that society may be manipulating you, even though you are an ego. Why let people control someone as strong as you? And so by being blinded to perfection could be the one thing that may weaken such a strong character and being like you. And so your future self wants you to take these social norms out of your eyes, social ideas that are meant to perhaps control strong people like you, by blaming you over mistakes and telling you, oh, how can you do that? Or you must be this, or you must be that, putting any types of tags to keep you under control. But you are an ego, obviously, here, my dear pile number 2. You're someone who's strong. You're someone who's supposed to fly free. Not an easy bird to deal with, the ego. In fact, for us to even begin to deal with the ego, we have to put these blindfolds. That's the only way. And I see your future self telling you, we are strong. No one can get a hold of us or control of us. And so let's not be blinded by accusations or being worried about falling or failure. It's all part of the process, and nobody's perfect. And to know that is to free oneself fully, to be okay and to be bold about making mistakes, because you learn from them. That's how everybody grows. Thank God you've learned it this time, and you're sure you're going to do better the next time. Nobody's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. And to drop the regret, drop the worries, drop the social labels that comes with anything, and to choose you, because you will find your strength through that. And it's a process that is taken day by day with the Knight of Pentacles, by watching what triggered you today, what made you feel worried or scared, why did you hate that message or email so much, why did you hate these words that someone told you, and why are you blaming yourself for them? Maybe it's their shadow that they need to heal with. And to pat yourself on the back and say, it's okay. My people are going to be the ones that treat me with kindness, that treat me with love. They would not speak to me like that. And so anyone else is someone that is an acquaintance that I will respect if they respect me. And to drop that and to move on, learn from it, and you'll sure be doing better and better every single time. I see your future self telling you that they've learned so much from this process of self-love and learning about the situation, dropping the regret, dropping the guilt, dropping the fear, and taking it slowly, day by day, figuring things out, finding what went wrong in order to do it better the next time. In between the crowd, I see your future self showering themselves with love first, taking care of themselves first before anyone else. And that means not to allow anyone to think that their judgments or labels or whatever that you are worried about would have an effect on you. Because if they have, if it's not kind feedback, what is it called? Constructive feedback said gracefully, then really there is a shadow. It's not your shadow to deal with at all. Take the learning gracefully, work on it, forgive yourself, move on, and know that they too have their own shadows to deal with. And so by focusing on you and not the other, constantly learning from the outside and being kind to you, that is the most important thing. I see that you have gone back to your eagleness, my dear pal number 2. You have gone back to be a strong person, flying free. No one can catch or prey on, my dear pal number 2. Don't blame your shadow, but rather understand what it's trying to tell you. Calm it down with kindness and learn to do better the next time. Not to please others, but for you to be better. And that's exactly what I see in your reading, my dear pile number 2. Yeah, I wanted to say something and I forgot it. Okay, anyways, I want to say, yeah, don't focus on others. And know that if there is a label, then there is a shadow. And it's not for you to worry about. You are focusing on you and you are getting better every single day. And that was your reading, my dear pile number 2. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you love Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. You'll find a link to this channel first thing in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 2. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook, so you can enjoy listening to the book, and really you will learn how to be self-disciplined while enjoying this process. And so pile number 2, thank you so much for tuning in. It was such a pleasure doing your reading for you. Love you very much, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Kunzite as well as Love and Unabashedly. Let's keep your main card right there. And let's see. Let's keep it right there. Let's see what your cards have to say. We're taking a look at your future self's message on what their message on your shadow now that they've healed it. So you have the fault line. Let me adjust that. My apologies. There we go. You have this oracle card. You also have Unfinished Symphony. Okay. And you have Joy. All right. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards. So you have the 9 of Pentacles. This is the after tarot, the scene right after the Rider-Waite-Smith. And you have, again, the scene after, the 8 of Wands. You have the Fool card. And the Queen of Pentacles. Right. You also have the 10 of Wands. Wow, you have the Wheel of Fortune. All right. Oh, I see. You have the 8 of Wands again. And last but not least, you have the 7 of Cups. Interesting with the 7 of Cups. So I feel like your future self is really talking to you about your love towards others and your connections with other people. There is a heavy burden there. Relationships tend to, although they bring a lot of joy to you, they also bring a lot of burden. I feel with the 7 of Cups that you have beautiful expectations of people. Perhaps they stem from your beautiful soul with the Fool card. You know, the Fool card talks about someone who's open to life, who hasn't yet seen the ugliness of the journey, who there is naivety and purity. And I don't mean, of course, naivety in a bad way. I'm talking about the purity of your heart. Naivety simply means don't know, right? It's not it's not a bad thing. What we're talking about here is your future self speaking to you about your expectations from other people that stems from your beautiful, pure soul. And so the learning lesson here is that you rediscover that people will not be treating you the way that you expect them to, because you treat them in such a way. And that brings a lot of burden to you. I see with the fault line, this kind of created a crack or some pain in your heart when it comes to your dealings with others. Maybe also some sadness that needs to be healed. And so I see your future self talking about some quickness happening. There's quick energy, and then that leads to an unfinished connection. So your future self is talking about getting in too quickly, having high expectations because you have these high standards when dealing with others, and then quickly realizing that they haven't really reciprocated the goodness that you were expecting. Perhaps you feel like they were trying to lead the connection in the direction that they wanted. You trusted them because you have a good heart, and it leads to you breaking off the connection. So there's this cycle here that goes on, and with the Wheel of Fortune, a cycle of developing connections very quickly and then cutting them off. So the cutting off is definitely the right thing to do, right? If you feel like someone hasn't been reciprocating your the reciprocating in the same standard of respect or integrity that you've been dealing with them and giving to them, then you're right about that part. But I see your future self speaking about a cycle that happens in the beginning very quickly. Your future self wants to talk to you first and foremost with the Nine of Pentacles about being joyous on your own. And healing that will slow down the fast-moving energy of starting a connection with others that you feel will be sweet but turns to sour. So it's not just about going in too quickly. There's what your future self has healed. The shadow that initially pushes you to get in quickly. Whether these are love relationships, romantic relationships, or relationships with other people, this is the shadow that your future self is discussing that they have healed. Be feeling the joy on one's own. Feeling independent and happy by yourself will be the key to slowing down that quick movement in the beginning, thus giving you the opportunity to study others, to see their ways, and not get disappointed very quickly that it hurts. To take things slow with people. So let's explore how your future self has healed that shadow and see what they want to tell you about it. I see your future self enjoying the things that they have created. This is the after tarot. So the Nine of Pentacles has created their dream, and now they are independent and they're enjoying what they have created. And so I feel that your future self is advising you not to put all of your joy in people, because you will discover that it's not the only way to enjoy life. There needn't be a person there to enjoy it with you. I see your future self telling you, them being you, by the way, telling you that they have indulged themselves in so many things that they love. And this reading is not to discourage you from having connections. Connections are one of the wonderful things about life, but it's there to discourage you from seeing it as everything. It should be part of life. And so here I see your future self telling you not to abandon yourself from people, but to learn that during your free time you can definitely do activities and things that you really enjoy. Pile number 3. Let's get more information. See, the Wheel of Fortune is showing us many options. We see a wheel full of many options. So what is that telling us? It's more like, don't leave it to chance for you to do things that you love. I'm gonna find out more, of course, but I really do see that it's about, with the wheel here, about thinking about the different things that you love doing, and start getting yourself involved in these things and not waiting for life to pass by, or people to pass by to do these. What is that? Yeah, get into your element. Get into the things that you love, that makes you feel alive. Yeah, don't wait for people, but get into your element and do the things that you love now. Like, for example, if you love traveling, don't wait for a best friend or a spouse or a partner to be there, or a group of people. Go to these places if you can and have fun. If you like going to the movies, if you like taking a certain class, whatever it is exactly, indulge in these things that you love. Get into activities that you love. Yeah. Also, you can get into activities where you connect with others through these activities, but you're not tied down to them. I mean, if they turn out to be good, that's great. If not, you're already indulging in that activity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so through healing that shadow, you'll be able to have healthier connections with others, where it's not going fast, but it's taking time. And through that time, you're not, crossing your fingers that they don't turn out to have a nasty shadow that they hit you with, but rather you're taking it slow with people. You're through time and developing a connection little by little, without giving all the trust and all the love and all the hope in the beginning. You get to let the situations unfold, what they would and wouldn't do, and could and couldn't do. And you learn more about them, and you will rarely be disappointed with someone, because you took your good time to find out what they're made out of, what they can do, what they will do, before you invest everything that you have into it. So yeah, let's get more information as I took out these cards on what these could be to you specifically. So, ooh, you have the Tower card. Okay, so it looks like you love activities that are done all of a sudden, that have excitement to it. So maybe this could be like packing your bags and going to a nearby city to explore it, you know, very spontaneous. Maybe you like to go out, have a walk in the mall, or do a new activity, and you don't know what's going to happen next. So that's a clue that we see here. Something that would teach you to learn how to access that part of you, of having fun on your own as well, because that's an unexplored part that you certainly will enjoy. That's part of life as well. So it's having the freedom to go out and do crazy things that many other people may not really be totally in line with, right? So it's to have that freedom to go, maybe color your hair a new different color, or do something that speaks to you that may not speak to other, and through that meet other people who love the same thing, you know. You have the Page of Wands. So we're asking, what would you enjoy? You have special interests, pile number 3. This is what your future self is telling you. You may be always disappointed that others don't always indulge in these crazy ideas. Maybe it's intellectual things that you love to do with the Page of Wands. Maybe it's fun activities that others don't want to do. So I see your future self keeps pointing out that you have a very interesting side to you that loves certain activities that are fun, enjoyable, that are not common, you know, they're not basic. And so most people don't indulge, and that is your opportunity to indulge in these things during your alone time. Yeah, there you go. The Page of Cups appeared again. It's, you will find, I see your future self saying that you will find, by following these activities that speak specifically to you, they will be so much fun that you will be surprised that now that when you deal with people, you find yourself going, but I'd rather get back to my element. So that's how much joy and fun you are going to have. Pile number 3, it's about discovering them, connecting with them. Yeah. Whoa, you have the 10 of Pentacles. Actually, I see your future self telling you it's like a treasure that you will open that will never close. You'll find one activity after the other. You must be a very creative person, pile number 3, because you'll get into one thing. Like, let's say, for example, you've always wanted to do flying yoga. I think it's called that. And so you get into that and you enjoy it so much, and then you start getting connected to the spiritual environment and meditation, and then you hear about tarot. I'm just suggesting, I'm sure you already know what tarot is, but let's say you hear about tarot and you go, oh wow, oh my god, I love that, and you start taking classes and you start, you know, reading tarot to other people, and they read to you, and you're just like, whoa, that is so much fun. And you take it back home and you read more about it, and then that opens up another pathway where you, for example, start learning of a class called art therapy, and you love that, and you start, you know, it's a rabbit hole. You get into one thing and you learn about another community, and then you find spiritual trips, and you name it. You finally found yourself opening up a treasure box, and whoa, there's so much in there. You want to explore all of these things during your free time, and once you get yourself down that rabbit hole, just like the fish is suggesting, you'll find that it's very hard for you to not be, it's like your element. You find that, yes, you want to connect with others, That's for sure. But it's also going to be a very important part of your life. That whereas sometimes you won't have that need because you're looking forward to the fun things that you're doing. You have the Ten of Swords, and this is the After Tarot. They are pulling, I guess, the body. So what is this saying? What is this saying? Actually, quite interestingly, the Death here is transformation within the Ten of Swords. Meaning what used to burden you, tie you down, make you feel so bad because of the hurt and the backstabbing that you could have gotten from others could be the very thing that would have helped you transform into who you are today. You know how you can't stab a dead person in the back because they won't feel it anymore. And so metaphorically, what I'm seeing here is that you would have transformed so much, where you're taking such good care of you, you're so happy on your own, that backstabbing is not going to hurt you any longer, because you're not you love the people around you, you feel great with them, but you don't have all of your eggs in a basket where this is your fun, and so when it hurts it breaks you. No, you have your own life. You're feeling absolutely fine. You love and enjoy your relationship with others. In fact, you took it very slow. And if you feel like a person hasn't been as honest as you thought, or perhaps stabbed you in the back, you now feel like it's okay. It's not affecting you any longer. You're not in the scene any longer. Perhaps you flee very quickly. But this time you're fleeing without the pain of the Ten of the Swords. Whoa. So do you see that? The Six of Cups, they're running. They used to connect together, and now they're running in a different direction. So it used to be about connection, and now they're both taking a different direction. I get it. Here, your future self is telling you to shift your perspective from putting all of your attention onto someone to doing something that you love, so that when there are friends or deep connections that you form in the future, they find you busy, and perhaps they too join you and do these fun activities with you. They find your life to be full and not waiting entirely on them. Very, 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 very wise future self, my dear pile number 3. I see your future self has definitely healed that shadow and is inviting you to start it from today. And this is exactly what I see in your reading, my dear pile number 3. I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 3. This book could really help you out in your journey of manifesting and finding the discipline to do the things that you want. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it, but you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And pile number 3, thank you for tuning in to today's reading. I enjoyed it immensely. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.